Hello guys, welcome to or welcome back to Trick or Treat! Today we are hoping to get something spooky, something dead, a mystery, horror, something fun, something spooktacular. So we're gonna pull, as we do every time, this one almost every time. Ooh, Night's Edge. Thank you, Rainy. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Rainy, I kind of like, hey, everybody who was in Battle of the Booktubers, like, sorry to keep bothering you guys, but if you had like extra recommendations that you were sitting on for me, like, I would happily take them to put in my little trick or treat pool. And so Rainy gave me Night's Edge. This is, young adult? Maybe adult, I'm not sure. But it is a vampire story, so fits like, you know, the cemetery undead, if you will. I think it's about like a mother-daughter relationship. I don't really know a whole lot about it. It's been on my radar for a while. I want to say, I think this was an older pick on Sav's book club. So I had like always thought I was going to read it, and then I just like hadn't gotten around to it. So that's very exciting. I'm happy to have a little vampy book. Since I'm able to just listen to an audiobook for this one, I don't own it, I can do other things. I need to go make lunch like ASAP, like right now. So I think I'm gonna make a little white pizza, which I've done already for these videos, but it's truly one of my favorite things. So I think I'm gonna make a pizza, and maybe I'll start listening to the audiobook if I can get it now. It'll really come down to when the holds are available, but fingers crossed it's available now and I can get started on it.
Macmillan Audio presents Night's Edge by Liz Karen. Read for you by Chase Sweet Wonders.
Good evening, friends. Today, it's evening now. Earlier today, as my brain cells are clearly depleting. Earlier today, I started listening to Night's Edge by Liz Curran. And this is a vampire story. And we are following a, I guess, young adult, maybe teen. I don't remember her age. I think she's 18 or something. Mia. Because 10 years prior, Mia kind of got forced into, in a way, of taking care of her mother, because her mother, Izzy, got turned into a vampire. And it's up to Mia to kind of make sure that she's ethically being fed. So Mia is like giving her blood to her mom and making sure that she's home all the time. And Izzy's very restrictive with the things Mia's allowed to do. Like, she can't drink, she can't smoke, she can't have relationships, no friendships. Like, friends can't come over and see her or anything. Just very isolated. And it happened at a pretty young age for Mia. And so having to live this way for so long, Mia eventually is like, I'm kind of getting sick of this. Like, I should be coming into my own. I should be an adult. I should live on my own. I should be doing things for myself. And that's not really possible at this moment, but she's like getting that itch for freedom. She's like ready to move on to the world. And she meets this girl, Jade, who's a musician. I think they work together, or they work like around each other somewhere. And she meets Jade, and she's like questioning her sexuality a little bit, but also like, maybe this is my ticket out. And that's kind of like the synopsis of what this book is. Boiled down, it's a very sad story so far. Like, I don't know what the point necessarily is, but we're just kind of seeing how Mia is adapting to these changes. We're getting the past timeline of when this initial change happened and how things were evolving between their relationship, and just like that toxic mother-daughter relationship dynamic that I think is crafted well. But this is also very character driven. There isn't really a plot that we're like getting towards. I'm assuming that like the end of the book is just going to be like Mia leaves her mom. But also, this is a trilogy. I don't know how. I don't understand how this could be a trilogy. It's very character focused and character driven, which isn't my favorite way of telling stories. I like there to be more plot, but it is interesting enough. Like, it's well written enough. I like the narrator. I'm engaged enough with what's going on that I'm gonna keep listening, and like, it's a good time so far, but like, it's not so far a favorite book of mine. It's not something that I'm like freaking out about. I like the characters. They feel realistic enough, but they're also not like the best characters ever. It's so far just like a nice thing to have on in the background, like a nice listen while I'm doing other tasks. So that's kind of my plan for this evening, is to just finish it up while I'm doing stuff around the house. I think I might clean a little bit. I might play some Sims a little bit. I don't really know yet. I have like over an hour left. I don't know exactly, but I'm gonna keep listening to it and just kind of do stuff. It's not like one of those books that I want to pick up a physical for. It's not a book that I'm like super eager to jump back into. It's just kind of like there, and it's fine, you know? But it's an interesting premise. I just wish that we were doing more. I wish there was like more happening, more going on, more plot, rather than just like the woe of my mom's a vampire and my mom's hypocritical and my mom's mean and also a vampire. Like I just want a little more flavor in my story. But like it's fine. It's just like an easy listen. I think the narrator is doing a good job. I think that I actually enjoy the past timeline a little bit more than the present timeline, just because the past, like, at least we're seeing the evolution of finding out her mom is a vampire and the toxic relation she is, and how we're seeing like the trauma getting passed down in generations, kind of, and how like we're not breaking a cycle, we're just also treating our daughter as bad as our boyfriend treated us, kind of thing. But yeah, I'm gonna go let the dogs in. That's where I'm at. I'll check with you guys in a little bit later. Finish the book. Nothing happens in this book. It's just character driven, talking about codependency and toxic relationships between a mother and a daughter. Then we hear more about the vampirism and how it's a virus and how there starts to be curfew and surveillance. Like if you walk into a clinic, like a health clinic, then they're going to test your blood, like, as you walk in to see if you have this virus or not. And they're, like, making sure that people aren't donating blood and no one's stealing the blood. And it becomes, like, this weird conversation about, like, virus surveillance, which, you know, reminds you of, like, COVID a little bit, but, like, way more extreme. But it's, like, become this, like, outbreak. It's, like, this incurable disease, this virus of being a vampire. And so now that's happening. And you're like, yos, that's not good. But also, a different take on the vampires. And then the last 20% happens. And even to say, like, last 20%, it feels really like the last 5%. So our main girl, Mia, decides, I'm going to go to Jade's performance. We're kind of, like, figuring out our sexuality. We're, like, kind of maybe intertwined. But then Izzy goes missing. Her mom goes missing. And we're like, that's weird. That's not good. But Mia's like, it's fine, I'm gonna do this thing, she's gonna come back, it's all gonna work out. And then the concert happens. And I don't want to say what happens because it's a spoiler, but some cuckoo banana things go on, and you're like, huh? I'm sorry, that's not the direction that I thought we were headed. I did not think this is anywhere in the realm of, like, what was gonna happen. And now I can see where a sequel comes in. The sequel is basically Mia chasing down the group of vampires that turned her mom into a vampire. And I feel like if I tell you... Oh, I already said that her mom was missing. So, like, she's, like, trying to figure out her mom's situation. But, like, oh, the stuff that happens with Jade is so sad. It's, like, such a humbling, like, coming-of-age experience of what Mia goes through with Jade. Like, it's her first relationship ever, but also, like, her first queer relationship. And the direction that they go is not what I expected. I really was thinking, like, you know, that was gonna be, like, a fairy tale ending situation, just because, like, it's her first time, and it's, like, gonna show, like, the codependency issues with her mom, and, like, help her get through that. Crazy. I can understand why people enjoy this. Like, if you enjoy a character-driven story, but you want some, like, action and excitement at the end, like, leading into a sequel, I'm intrigued by a sequel. I will be honest, I've thought, hey, maybe it would be fun if we read the sequel together. There's no audiobook for it, so I don't know if this did as well in numbers as we thought, or maybe it's gonna come out later, I'm not really sure. I am walking away from this being like, I'm not wowed by any means, because it leaves a lot to be desired for somebody who enjoys a plot, who would have enjoyed, like, more of the ending earlier on, and just, like, I don't know, if we, like, meshed the first 2 books together and just made it a standalone, I think maybe it could have worked for me better, because there would have been more action and, like, drive in the story rather than just, like, an emotional narrative. But I never connected or felt so strongly for the characters, which, you know, is always the issue that I have with character-driven stories, is if I don't fall in love with the characters pretty early on, like, it's just kind of meh, you know? But I think that this has the right audience, and I think the people who love it are going to love it and enjoy it. And it's on the shorter side, so it's not like I felt like I wasted time with it, but it also wasn't, like, my favorite thing ever. But I guess at the end of the day, like, it's a 3-star read for me. Like, the ending was explosive enough that I found more enjoyment out of it, but the journey to get to the destination I didn't love, so it kind of just fell flat for those moments. But I just kind of wish that everything happened a little bit sooner and we could have seen more of everything. But I understand that's also, like, not what the story was meant to be. Like, this is meant to be a more character-driven story, like, having that conversation of, like, coming of age and realizing that you're in this codependent, toxic dynamic. Like, I get the themes, I get the point. It just didn't work for me. But I don't think the writing is necessarily bad. I think it's a little bit maybe simple, but I think that the narrator does a good job. I think that it is compelling enough to keep you reading, and then you get to the end and you're, like, so knocked off your feet because it's so far from what you would ever expect from a book like this that you're just like, sure, okay, yeah, why not? So yeah, 3 stars, but I do think I want to continue. Like, whenever the next book comes out on audio, if my libraries get it, I will happily listen to it, assuming that I do not forget everything that's happened and that my notes make sense to me by the time I do pick it up. But I would continue. I would recommend it to people who enjoy a vampire book. If you enjoyed, like, something like Women Eating, I kind of felt some similarities to that. That's also a more literary vampire book, having conversations about, like, a mother-daughter dynamic, where she's, like, trying to leave the world and go be independent on her own, and, like, joins, like, this art thing. I really enjoyed Women Eating, though, and so I don't know why this one didn't work for me the same way. But yeah, that's kind of where we're ending this one. I didn't check in a whole lot, but I really didn't have a lot to say either, because it's just, like, a shorter, I think I spent maybe 3 hours with the audiobook, so it's, like, it was like a blimp in my day. Like, it wasn't a very long experience, but I'm happy that I read it. It was definitely an interesting pick, but it's been on my radar for a while, like, since it came out. Riveting Reads had a book club, and it was one of their picks, and I was, like, contemplating a year ago doing a book club taste test vlog, and this was one of the picks because I was, like, kind of interested in it. So I'm glad that I, like, finally read it and finally picked it up and saw, like, what the whole hubble-baloo was about. But it definitely was not necessarily the right pick for me, but I also, like, could see a lot out of it, and I can see myself thinking about it in the future, because it just, like, that ending just was not what I expected it to be. So yeah. If you guys made it to the end of the video, thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me. That's all I really have to say. So I will see you guys tomorrow for my very next Booktober video. We are over halfway. We're nailing it. We're doing great. So I will see you guys tomorrow for the next one. Bye!